In November 1985, President Ronald Reagan's administration held two secret missions, which involved the National Security Council. The National Security Council is an U.S. agency within the Executive Office of the President to advise the President on domestic, foreign, and military policies related to the security of the nation. The National Security Council also serves as a way for the President to organize and arrange policies among different governments. The first secret operation involved the sale of weapons by the United States to Iran. The objective of these weapon sales was to improve relations within the Iran government and to win the release of the U.S. hostages in Lebanon. These 39 United States hostages were eventually released by the Amal militia in Lebanon after almost 3 weeks of being held prisoners. The second operation involved the support by the U.S. government for the Nicaraguan Contras, who opposed their newly elected communist leader Daniel Ortega. He was a leader of the Sandinista National Liberation Front. This is a political party that first came to power in Nicaragua in 1979. It did so by overthrowing the dictator Anastasio de Valle. The party is referred to as FSLN and got its name from Augusto Sandino, a leader who led the resistance against the United States. President Ronald Reagan was not pleased to hear that Daniel Ortega, a communist, was elected president of Nicaragua. He called the members of the National Security Council and explained to them that he wants them out. President Ronald Reagan's National Security Advisor, Robert McFarlane, and his assistant, Admiral John Poindexter, authorized a secret plan, led by Lieutenant Oliver North. He was the one in charge when it came to terrorism in the United States from 1983 to 1986. He was in charge of the weapon sales to Iran in hope of winning the release of the U.S. hostages in Lebanon and in the money laundering scheme with the Nicaraguan Contras. They came up with a plan to use the funds they received from their weapons sales with Iran to fund the Nicaraguan Contras campaign to overthrow their new leader. This plan was hidden from Congress and from the American public. The Nicaraguan Contras are a rebel group who oppose the FSLN or the Sandinista National Liberation Front. They emerged because of the overthrow of Anastasio de Valle and a newly elected communist president, Daniel Ortega. They received support from the United States and especially the military. They participated in the Nicaraguan Civil War in the 1980s. This civil war started as a chain of small rebellions against the Nicaraguan government. This became known as the Iran-Contra affair. It lasted from 1983 to 1988. These secret operations were discovered by Congress when a U.S. military plane carrying supplies for the Contras was shot down over Nicaragua. One of the crew members was taken hostage by the Sandinista government. Congress later discovered that he was working a covert operation for Oliver North. A few months later, a Lebanese newspaper reported the sale of weapons from the U.S. to Iran. Congress was able to link both of these operations to each other. Congress began to investigate these covert operations, and after months of investigating and questioning key figures of these operations, including Oliver North, Robert McFarlane, and John Poindexter, Congress was able to conclude that what had happened. Oliver North was convicted of destroying crucial documents and obstructing Congress. Robert McFarlane was found guilty to 4 counts of withholding information from Congress, and John Poindexter was convicted of conspiracy, obstructing Congress, destruction of records, and false statements. He later pled guilty to 5 counts of deceiving Congress. The problem came when they could not find the original source of the operation. They were unable to prove that President Ronald Reagan was involved. Key documents that may have proven the president guilty had been shredded by his administration. Therefore, it remains unclear if President Ronald Reagan took part in these secret operations.